in this part of the test, what I wanted to show you was the difference in the power output of the large coil wire versus the small coil wire. And our small coil wire is going to be this meter here. Our large coil wire is going to be this meter here. They're both set on AC voltage, and this is our DC voltage coming out of our large side of our wire. So as you can see, with our large wire, it's 18.2425 in that range, but our DC output is only 16, almost 17. On our smaller wire, you'll notice that our voltage in our whole number is the same at 18, but we're down about 20% on our voltage from our small coil to our large coil. And that is what laws predict as far as the amount of voltage that is going to be dropped, because it's easier to provide voltage through a large wire than it is a small wire. So this is testing out exactly how it should. Okay, we're going to be performing some testing on our amperage output. And some of the things that I'm going to be testing with is this unit here. It is an under cabinet light. It's fluorescent, of course. It is an AC, straight AC plug-in type light. So it is not for DC use. It is for AC use. And I wanted to show that complete to you. And that's the model number there. It's a model 7104BN. It's an 8-inch portable luminaire, 120 volt, 60 hertz at 4 watts. And I picked this up at a local store. What I did was I stripped it down and I cut it apart a little bit so that you could see the circuit that's on the inside here, and then I mounted it to a piece of plexi just so that you could see everything that's in it. Make sure that there's no batteries or any extra anything's in it. That's just the cover to protect the light there. But that's it, on-off switch. And then I have that simply just twisted with an extra little bit of wire that we're going to run to our screw blocks. And then this right here we'll see glowing here in a little while. It operates quite well. And what I'll do is I'll show you a couple of different ways that to light up the fluorescent tube. I'll show you a direct connect to the bulb, and then I'll also show you through the circuitry that it does light both ways. And some of the other things that we're going to be testing is another type of fluorescent bulb. I'm sure we've all seen these. They're all over the world. Just simple screw in, and then a standard bulb. This is a 60 watt, 120 volt Sylvania, and this is a 8 watt, 120 volt, 60 hertz. It says it operates at 290 milliamps. So we'll go ahead and test this as well, and we'll see what that is. It's made by Greenlight. And so those are going to be our amp tests, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with a couple of those. Now, I don't expect too much of a benefit just running it off of one coil or the other, but what it's going to test is the actual amperage difference in these two as far as the AC output. So we're not going to be using our DC at all in this test, and what I'm going to do is show you the rest of this as soon as I get it all wired up. Okay, now what I wanted to show you is how I'm wiring up for our next test. We're going to be testing the amperage that's coming off of the large wire. So what you can see here is our meter that's tied in for our voltage on that, and that's going to be our first meter. And then you'll notice these probes here. This is coming off of our amperage meter, which is our center meter. Okay, and how you test the amperage is you run your meter on one side of the wire. In other words, your meter is going to complete the circuit on one side of your wire. So the output of one side of our coil is going into our meter and out of our meter, and then you have our other wire coming off of our coil, and these two contacts will finish making the load contact. And when you do that, the load will come on and it'll show how much that load is drawing as far as amps or amps, however the drawing is going to happen. So that's how this is going to operate right here. So I'm going to do a couple of different tests. I'm going to show straight AC coming off of this as far as what it's drawing. And then we're going to know what our voltage is coming out of here, which will be about the 18 volts that we've already seen. So that's how that's going to operate. And what we're going to test first of all here is we're going to test a light bulb. And it's just going to be a standard light bulb that we're going to test to start out with, and that's going to be the Sylvania that I showed you earlier. And we're going to test that one first just to show a little bit of a glow in the bulb, and you're probably not going to be able to see it very much because we don't have the right amount of voltage going into the bulb. So it's not going to really light up too much, but we'll be able to see some amperage results. Okay, and what I've done is I've turned off the light so you can see the glow in the bulb. It's not going to glow very much, but you will be able to see the amperage output. And you can see the bulb is glowing quite well. And our voltage is going to drop slightly because we put our voltage under a load. And you'll also see that we're drawing 178 milliamps of power. So our first test is to just barely blow a bulb, which you can see it's glowing quite well at 178 milliamps and a little over 16 volts. Now when I take the power off, you'll notice that the amperage zeroes out and our voltage goes back up to a little over 18 volts. What I'll do is I'll just turn the light back on so you can see this again with all the light on. There's our bulb glowing again. So you can see the results for this test. And that's glowing a standard 120 volt, 60 watt bulb. Okay, in our next test, I'm going to show this bulb, which is out of our little unit. It's a 4 watt standard bulb. It's an F4T5/CW429. It's made by Lighting America. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to light one end of the fluorescent tube. And there it is lit. And we're drawing 400 milliamps at 15.16 volts. So there's our fluorescent tube glowing. I'll turn the lights back on. And you'll be able to see it glow again.